Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So this is the Crypto Weekly Analysis Volume 11. Again, giving you an insight of what we think is going to happen next week, and also give you a comparative of our last week's analysis video. So so last week what we were looking at is pretty much this option for price to pretty much push lower. Again, we're just waiting for price to do this with Bitcoin, and again, as you know, the Bitcoin dominance thing, once whatever pretty much is doing, whatever price action is doing on Bitcoin, it kind of similarly reflects this in crypto, in the other altcoins. But again, I try and not think too much about that. I kind of look at price action on the individual perspective as well. But pretty much I do see a lot of similarities right now with Bitcoin and the other coins as well. So you pretty much will kind of see the pattern of what I'm talking about here and in the other coins that we're going to discuss today as well. So what we said last week, like I was mentioning, is pretty much that we can see that price is pretty much pushing up higher, and we're just waiting for price to turn over. So I actually think that there's a possibility of price potentially dipping down and then pushing up once more, and that could be this option where we could actually look for that sell-off. So once we start to see price action, completely die and dive down, I think it'll be a bit more convincing. And then once this is taking place, I feel like we could head into around the 25k, or even to take out this low here. So as we can see right now, one reason for this is we do have that divergence forming here already, and that is actually really strong. So essentially, this is the momentum of price action right now. So as we can see here, these peaks here don't match the price action peaks, and usually what that means is there's a divergence of momentum. So that basically means that there is weakness pushing up into this place, or in this move in general. So I'm not entirely too convinced that this is the strength and this is the move that is going to essentially rally up. So that's why I'm personally convinced that price has the ability to push up, maybe dip down a little bit and then push up once more, and then I feel like once that happens, price will then cave and drop down and melt into 25k or so, because I'm still looking in for price to drop into this low. I think it's a very good area, and it's not, like I was mentioning before in the previous weeks, is that this momentum is not strong enough. I'm not entirely sure if price is going to push up any stronger or any higher than this, but like I said, it's let me just pull out the fib just for a quick second. So what I was expecting is pretty much anywhere below 50k, I think, is a good area for price to pretty much reject. So I'm thinking if we could get above 50, then maybe there is that possibility of price pushing up right now. But yeah, for now, I'm not entirely convinced. I think that there is a possibility of price, turning towards the downside. So let's take a look now at another coin and try and see how this kind of correlates together. So Ripple, again, what we was talking about last week was pretty much, obviously, we've had that this bullish run already, right? So again, following that same perspective with Bitcoin, is that it's kind of similar. I think in my eyes, it's doing the similar sort of patterns. I think that price has the ability to push up higher once more and then roll over. Again, if we take a look at the RSI, we're actually not diverging just yet, so that's a good sign of possible strength. But once we maybe see price do something like this, if price does that, and if price does this and price action goes higher, then there is going to be definitely a divergence there, and it depends how strong that will be, because we could actually end up seeing price turn over. So I am going to just pretty much put a turnover point for this week. I'm not I don't think, I can't really see any price action pushing up higher for now. I think there is that possibility of price still turning over still towards the downside, and I think that we can drop lower than 50 cents. So again, we're still going to be watching for that. And like I said, with this, is that once we break this low, there is this opportunity for price to make this huge rally all the way up to the upside. And yeah, from this I am thinking it's going to take out, you know, all the, like almost take its highs, or which is basically $3 and above really. So again, this is why this move is possibly taking so much time, because it needs to you know, prepare itself and, you know, take all the orders before it does rally up. So in a similar fashion with Cardano, again, I am looking for price to turn over still. We can see that there's pretty much been this rally, and again, we're just waiting for price to just die off really. So again, I'm just moving things to the side, but ultimately we're just waiting for price to dip down into the $1 region, even lower. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this. So ultimately, still expecting for price to turn over to the downside. Let's take a look at Litecoin. So yeah, in a similar fashion, again, I think that there is that possibility of price turning over. I actually am going to get rid of this now, the 7K range, because I don't see any bullish momentum right now. I think that there is this clear division of consolidation right now and a range bound thing. So we're pretty much just going up and down, up and down. We're not really moving anywhere. So I think it perfectly makes sense for price to drop off lower still. And I can't see with this pair anyway any bullish pressure right now. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens with that one. So Ethereum actually has broken our 3K level, right? And I am actually quite curious to see what happens with this, but I'm actually curious to see what happens with this divergence play, because it is, as price action is pushing up higher, this is the divergence for it is getting weaker. So I actually am going to get rid of this for now, but following on with the bias of Bitcoin, I do think that the price has that ability to still drop. So I'm going to stick to my guns with this and just say, you know, I'm going to be confident enough to take a drop off on this. I think that if we start to see price break above the 618, I think this could be a key sign for price to potentially turn over. Again, but I'm, you know, pretty much not convinced just yet. So ideally, I'm just going to still look out for that sells. But if price does push up higher and break this high, then we can always wait for that second entry. And we shouldn't really miss out on too much, really, I guess. So yeah, finally we're looking at Dogecoin. So with this, again, we were looking at to see around the 30 cents range. Is there going to be a possible breakout? I'm actually going to get rid of this again. I think that we still have this opportunity to push lower. I think we even drew in this spike that there is a possibility for price to push higher. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, I think that, you know, the best option for now is just pretty much waiting for this to pan out, because I think that there isn't any divergence right now. So I'm actually curious to see if we could continue on. But again, we did have this 30-second spike, so I'm just being careful to see if this is going to explode anytime soon. But hopefully, if it does all pan out the way that Bitcoin does, we should expect price to push lower. But yeah, I'm not really too sure for now because of this strength in the market. And we did have the 30 cents range highlighted, so I actually will leave that in actually. But yeah, we'll see if this can act as a strong barrier still, and if we can get a rejection, then, you know, we may get price to push lower. My next point of interest, or like a level that I'm keen to see, is the 40 cents barrier. So around here, if we can get above that, that could be, you know, some stronger sense of you know, pressure to the upside. But again, I think there's more to be reviewed still. So again, that's pretty much all that I've got for this week. But as you can see now, I feel like crypto markets are creeping up again. I think there's more pressure coming in, and a lot more price action is coming and getting involved. I feel like since the last 2 weeks or so, price action has been quite interesting. So yeah, definitely will keep an eye out for this, and hopefully, you know, the analysis gives you a bit more sense and clarity of what I'm thinking. But yeah, definitely that Bitcoin dominance is a bit tricky for Dogecoin and Ethereum. based on the fact that there has been strength towards the upside and that it does look quite bullish. So I don't blame you guys if you do want to start looking for entries now, but the reason why I'm going to personally wait on those two pairs is because of the Bitcoin dominance, and again, that's just my opinion. So this isn't financial advice, of course, but yeah, just take everything into consideration and with a pinch of salt, I guess. So that would be all from us. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. We do have a trading group that you can join. That link is in the description, and if you have any other questions, just like I said, just feel free to join, to get out to me and reach out to me. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and we'll see you all in our next video.